The theme has been requested by Jellyfish Jam 38. Little shout out to you there, Jellyfish. The theme of this episode that was requested is animal welfare. More specifically, the adverts of the RSPCA. Now, it's very hard to love these adverts because a lot of them play on the whole, you should feel bad, humans are very bad. And so, I have come prepared. Tissues, chocolate. I'm ready for this. Now, on with the show. I'm going to change the first category that I thought of a little bit, and instead of a well-loved classic, as I don't think there are many memorable RSPCA adverts that don't fall under the rip your heart out and stamp on it category, so I'm going to call this temporary category the much needed fun. This campaign that I'm going to show you was run in 2007 and it's called Skin and Bones. Not a very cheery title, but personally I quite like this one.
Blimey, that you, Daryl?
Oh, alright, Chaz.
What's all this then? You going for the Side Zero look?
I don't think so.
Well, you're just skin and bone, mate. You moving to LA or something? You look like a twig.
Oh, yeah, I haven't been fed in a while. I don't see me owner much.
Well, that explains it a bit. Come on, let's get you a can of grub.
Pets are more like people than you think. They need a suitable diet, just like us, and it's about to be law to provide it for them. Call this number to find out more.
Okay, with this one, I love the whole cut and paste anthropomorphic human-like thing they've done with this advert. It's quite a cool little technique, and I think the voice acting's of quite a good standard. I can recall seeing this on TV a couple of times. It's not particularly memorable, unfortunately. Sadly, you'll find the ones that upset or scare you the most are the ones that stick with you, and this is definitely not one of the scary ones. Nightmare fuel? Not at all. It's a touch of humour, and that's why I picked it for this first one. That being said, I'm not sure how effective this campaign would have been. With all of its fun, I think it's quite easily ignorable. As I said before, the voice acting's fairly good, convincing, and the narration at the end, the dogs are more like humans than you think, well, that's an arguable message, but it gets the point across. Scare factor? 0 out of 10. But that's what we need right now. We need a little bit of lightheartedness before both myself and the RSPCA proceed to drain the tears from your eyes with the next few clips. Here we go. Jellyfish, why did you make me do this? Well, we're at the Game Changer. And I was torn between something that completely changed the game of charity adverts back in the 80s, or a break from the tactics of today. I chose the latter, because you and I both know where that other advert's going to go. So this next one, I will warn you, is quite upsetting, and it's called Swim.
Come on.
We're going swimming, my brother and I. We're going swimming with our best friend. We're going to swim in the canal, even though it's very cold and dirty. My brother and I run down the towpath. We're happy to be running because we don't get taken out as often as we used to.
Come on.
Best friend seems to have less time these days.
Come here.
Never been down this way before.
Come here.
Usually we go where there's more people.
Good one, good one.
Now we're stopping. Suddenly my brother and I don't feel like swimming anymore. It's very cold. Very cold. So cold, our best friend puts us in a sack to keep us warm. I hope he doesn't slip, because it'd be very difficult to swim in this small sack.
I really am going to be needing that chocolate by the end of this video, aren't I? What can I say? It's bleak, it's grim, it's depressing, unsettling. Every sort of negative word in the book I could conjure about now. That being said, I'm sure it's been effective. I mean, some people need a sort of slap in the face and a kick up the arse to get them to do something about charities. I don't actually recall the date this advert was released. It's familiar to me, but I'm not sure it was on the television when I was younger. Though it does ring a bell, especially when I found it. Now, rewatching this advert was not a pleasant experience for me. I don't know about you, but as well as making me cry by the end of it, it also made me feel a bit sick and angry. I'm a dog owner, as you can see with this lovely example of a dog here, and I personally can't imagine anyone being heartless enough to do this in real life. to an animal. It just makes me a bit... In terms of nightmare fuel, I'm not actually sure about it. I actually find it a bit more heartbreaking and a bit depressing as opposed to scary. With the use of sound, the entire naive sort of narrative from the point of view of the dog, especially with the dog still referring to the arsehole of an owner who's about to kill him as his best friend, it gets you right in the feels. So to sum it up into a scare factor, I'd give this one a 3 out of 10. If, however, there was a cry factor, it would be off the chart. Onwards and upwards, eh? As usual, this is the one that we all look forward to. It's time for the sheer nightmare fuel. If you can't tell what this one's going to be, then have you even watched a PIF before? Let's get this over and done with quickly. This is How Much Is That Doggy? Good luck with this one.
Please give us £1, or we'll have to pull the trigger.
I can't even, just wow. I can't put this into words. That dog looked fucking terrified. For an animal welfare charity, I'm actually doubting their standards of animal protection while filming campaigns like this one. Bloody hell, that poor dog. Now, this is one of the clips that I hadn't seen on television before I was even born, but discovering this clip was, again, not a nice experience. It was one of those moments when you see something you really, really did not need to see. I turned off the computer, went downstairs, and I hugged my dog a lot. This qualifies as nightmare fuel in an instant. Linking in with the music and the use of sound, I will never, ever be able to hear How Much Is That Doggy in the Window ever in the same way. Ever. I'd say it's an effective message, but for all the wrong fucking reasons. Come on! They're pointing a gun at a dog! What sort of sick fuck holds a dog at ransom on television for a fucking quid? Just, oh, damn it! RSPCA, I support you, but you were a pile of arseholes in the 80s. To round this off, the scare factor for this clip is a scale-tipping 9 out of 10. Deservedly. Now I have quite an interesting little clip for the vintage clip. Now, not to break your hearts all over again, this is the same kind of cut from the advert before, but this time around it's strategically edited to make a little bit of a different message, without them threatening the bloody dog. Now, this is called How Much Is That Doggy? But I'm going to call it Part 2.
How much is that doggy in the window? Woof, woof. The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? Woof, woof. I do hope that doggy's for sale.
Before you give someone a dog this Christmas, please count the cost.
I think you'll all agree that this version is a lot less anger-inducing, heart-wrenching and all-out awfulness. They probably edited it after a lot of complaints about the first one, but don't quote me on that. If anybody knows the circumstances around that, then please do put it in the comments, because I would actually quite like to know. As per the last clip, I discovered this one via the wonders of the internet. The use of sound through the little girl singing. I don't know what it is with me and children's voices in PIFs and charity adverts, but it creeps me the hell out. I'd say this message is actually much more different than the one shown in the previous clip. It's to prevent people from buying puppies as presents and not just holding a dog to ransom for a quid. Ugh. I'm getting angry again. I'd say the message is quite effective, but the scare factor for me in terms of what I think would be around a 4. Children singing and talking in creepy voices, not good for me. So, to round it off, I hope you've at least mildly enjoyed this episode of PIF Review. I'm your host, PT Panda, and I'm about to go and eat a big bar of chocolate. And for posterity, please subscribe, or I'll have to... Oh, I can't do it! I can't do this! Not to a dog.